just takes some time, but soon you'll learn to fly in a violent...
Welcome back to another tech review on this channel. Today we get into the Oculus Quest 2. Now, for those who haven't heard of the Oculus Quest, this is a VR headset, but it's not just a VR headset for gaming. I will say that I did not have my hands on this early. I wasn't even too sure if I really wanted it. I had got the PSVR, and the PSVR served me well on the PlayStation 4. It was built directly for the games that were built on the hardware, and I enjoyed it. I mean, you can't go wrong with what the PSVR had to offer because I wanted to game in a VR presence. But the Oculus Quest takes this to a whole nother level. We are going to deep dive into this, and I'm going to give you a little ins and outs real quickly about one, how it differs from the PSVR, why it's important right now that you pick up an Oculus Quest, and for all those folks out there who are not into gaming, why this little device right here is something that you wouldn't mind having on your spare time. So we'll dive into it. We'll talk about some of the games, we'll talk about some of the hardware, some of the things I like about it, some of the things I don't like about it, and yeah, I think it's a promising future for the Oculus Quest, so let's jump right into it. All right, we are back. Let's talk about this device here. This is the Oculus Quest 2. Not to be confused with the Oculus Rift or the Oculus Quest 1 that they have. This one, as you can see, it's wireless. It's not connected to any PC, not connected to any game system or any type of hardware. You have your controllers, which sense your hands, and just a headset. You may be thinking, if you haven't seen any videos previously, virtual reality with nothing attached to it. How do you know where you're going, if you're going to run into anything, or if someone's in front of you, things of that nature. We'll get into this. One thing I'll start off right off the back that I said I like, it is comfortable. Not saying the PSVR isn't comfortable, but they have this like foam material that can be changed out based on your size of your face. There are, inside where the lenses are, I don't know if you can see that, let me put this down. Inside where the lenses are, you're able to adjust the eyes in order to fit the spacing for your eyes. So it will help with blurring or even kind of how close it is to your eyes, and that's very comfortable. The strap, my wife says it's a little tight, but you can adjust it. She puts it on her head when it's really meant for mine. But none to say that she plays it, therefore you can understand it's not just about gaming. And then one of the other best features of this Oculus Quest 2 are these built-in earports for your sound. I mean, the quality of the sound is crisp as if you're there. Other headsets that I've used have had 3.5mm jacks, which right here you can put in headphones, and they do say on some of the things that you're doing, movies you're watching, games, things of that nature, to enjoy it best with headphones because you can get that full quality. But if you don't have any headphones right out the box, this is impressive. Like, this sound is impressive. So with further ado, we won't even waste any more time. Let's jump right into it. Matter of fact, I'm going to have my virtual self, my avatar, kind of introduce a little bit, and then I'll throw some things up on the screen so you can see kind of how I look and the representation of what you actually see and what you can be. Let's jump back into that world. All right, so welcome to the Metaverse. I am your host, Modified, and I'm going to go ahead and throw video up in the screen somewhere behind me or whatever, so you can kind of see what this looks like from video to what I look like standing outside. Because if you walk up on somebody, they're going to think you look like a complete idiot for a second, because they don't know what you see and what you got going on. But this is the space where you can create your avatar, and you can go into Facebook's created world, called Horizon Worlds. There we go. Anyway, all of this is pretty much your starting point. It's not your home and things of that nature. This is where you can go hang out with friends, play games, all those different things like that. Whereas the other one, Horizon Venues, has shows and sports games, and you can link up with people like a mall and go to different places. Now that one right there does not allow recording, so you can't be able to see that, but just know that it's another avenue where you can go and do things with friends. Anyway, my hands, if I lift my thumbs, boom. Oh, I guess that's for the Super Bowl. Also, I can go like this, all that stuff like that. Anyway, now let's get on to the games. See y'all. Alright, so here we have another one of my games, 11 Table Tennis. Actually, the first of one of my favorites, and I like this game because it is table tennis and it is spot on. The responsiveness of this game is ridiculous. I mean, you can hear me hitting the table and all of that. You can play online, as you can see. One of my favorite people to play with, Rio Ware there, or you can just play against the computer. So there should be around here a screen so you can kind of see what I'm doing. You can see the level of detail and also how responsive it is as well. Oh, well. And mind you, this is just practice. Most of your games you play online. Oh. And granted, at the time of making this game, this video, I had not played in a while. Been playing other games, but this is one of my favorite, just to kind of give you some insight on how responsive it is. Whoa. And done. That's a level 11 table tennis. Alright, next up we have a game called Zero Caliber. I'm not going to get too in-depth with this game here, but one of the things I would like to talk about is how detailed this game is. As you can see on the ground. And select the gun real quickly. This one is also online. This one can be played with multiple people. I don't know. I like this game. There's plenty other shooters out here that may be just as in depth. I'm not sure. This is just one of my favorites here. Side rail. Let's do that. Hit try. I can walk over here. I can grab everything and put it on. And there we go. So anyway, how do I As you can see, it shows you kind of where you shot him at. Bring it in. Anyway. Amazing. It's real fun. This is Zero Caliber. Alright, so next up we have Beat Saber. This is by far, I think, one of the funnest games that is on any VR headset right now. But I have it on the Oculus Quest. So just to give you a little quick show of how this works. You essentially use lightsabers to cut into blocks on time. Not gonna embarrass myself right now because I haven't played in a while. But you essentially hit the blocks on beat like you would any other rhythm game. This is by far one of the funnest and most energetic games you can have. You can do about 2 or 3 rounds in this game and be like, oh, I need to sit down for a second. However, I am playing it on hard, not on expert. I have started on expert, but this is definitely hard at the moment. This game can provide hours and hours of fun by yourself, as well as online with up to 4 or 3 other people to make a 4-round arena where you can see everyone as they are playing the same songs and trying to beat the score you have. And that's pretty much Beat Saber. Alright, so back to the virtual reality world here. And one of the reasons, or a couple reasons I should say, why this is a great gift for even a non-gamer. So when you put on your Oculus headset, you end up in this virtual world. I know that we went straight into an actual application called Horizon Worlds, but this is where you start when you put your headset on. Now, let me get into one thing that is really cool. I just put the controllers down, as you can see. Facebook, or Meta, is working on hand tracking so that there can be games and other applications in the future that you can use with just your hands. On the front of the headset, there are 5 cameras that track motion, which is how they get all the other little inputs that you have. But as you can see, my hands are clearly here, and you saw earlier kind of me on the screen doing what I do. So just imagine this being me with no controllers in my hands and just using my fingers. It is a little bit difficult at times because you have to do certain pinches on your fingers and different ways of doing your hands to get to certain menus and stuff like that. So I'd rather just use a controller, but this feature has been cool. I have showed others, and there are certain things that I do when it comes to office applications and stuff like that that I use my hands with. Now let's jump into your menu where your applications are housed. What I will say about this headset, if you're going to pay the money for this headset, it is definitely worth it because there are tons of things that are free within this Oculus world. I think I may have paid for maybe 20% I would say of the applications that I have on here. Everything else is free entertainment, free games, demos, and things of that nature. Whether it's linking up with friends and just enjoying some social time in different worlds or events, or getting together with friends and watching movies, or even watching movies or TV by yourself. It is just tons of things you can do. There are menu units that you can pull up and they kind of give you a rundown of the things that are happening currently in your world that you can watch. I mean, I'm talking basketball games, church services, concerts, comedy shows. There are tons of things that are available for free once you buy this headset, and you just need to find them within the calendar days within this menu, and it's very intuitive. As you can see here, I just flipped the space where I was in. You have several different options of where you can start your journey when you put on your headset. A little free entertainment for you here. This portion is very enjoyable for me because I love to see the creativity behind what everyone can do in this VR space. From movies to creating animations, 360 views of just around the world. It's great. And just to give a quick demonstration, here is an animated video that is basically just looping. But what it allows you to do is choose different camera angles around this looped animation video. And I think this is really great because there are tons and tons of these to just go through and see the different angles that people allow you to see their creations from. And again, you can look all around, you can look, wherever the camera is placed for you. So
just a brief introduction to that. But now let's get into where it really counts. Watching movies. I know you saw Netflix on the menu screen, but I'm going to talk about one called Big Screen, because that one is one of the best ones to allow you to set up time with you and your friends all around. So let's get into Big Screen. It's no short way to kind of give tutorials about what's going on here. So if you've made it this far in this video, thank you. Alright, so I gotta close the room here, right? This, all free. Well, majority of it is free. So anyway, let me back out. First off, this is another room, another avatar. This is a house that you can invite people to. Pretty much go where you want. Okay. If I want to sit way over there. Whoops. I can't. But for the time being, we're gonna go back here. Turn down these lights a little bit here. And show you just the quality. Now, I've never done a 3D movie in here. I'll be honest with you on that. Oh, see, that's why I said some of this is free. Let's go to social. And let's just to show you what's going on. Nope. I don't want to do that. Don't want to leave my room. You can go to public rooms where there's tons of other people at, but for this video and all intents and purposes, I'm not going where there's other people so that we can get involved and people won't start talking and all that. This is mainly just kind of to show you what this is all about. So if you go just to movie rentals from here, nowhere else, just from here, there are tons and tons of movies. Now, once you do that, oops, you hit back. It's on your screen. Now, you can get together with 3, 4, I think up to maybe 6 friends in this house.
Find me sadistic.
So we're going to jump back into my regular voice here recording. Number one, because this movie is extra loud, like the quality of sound is even greater than what you expect coming out of the box with a headset. So we're going to talk about some things real quickly and then also probably help with some copyright situations. So let's get right into this. This area can be switched up. You can have about 4 or 5 friends with you in this one room, but there are different scenes that you can bring you and your friends and even other people too when you go to public rooms. So I switched the room on the fly, and we are currently at a drive-through theater where there are several cars that you and many of people can be in to watch the movie to give a different effect all around. There are several different ones besides this, as you can see. And just like that, we're in a small mini theater. Let me turn these lights up real quick so you can see. And all these seats can be occupied by several different people or however many people you want to invite to watch this movie. It works kind of the same way with Netflix, except you're Netflix and chill. You're on a couch, and I think you can really invite like maybe up to 3 other people because the room is a little bit smaller. So, but it goes even further. There's shenanigans of things that you can do around here, like grabbing popcorn and you can shake it, throw it at the people that you have in the room with you. You can draw. I mean, it's very extensive of what you can do, and just generally have conversation while you're in these rooms if you have things going. One of the things that I enjoy the most about this is that they have channels, and I'm a very big lo-fi guy. And if we're just having the discussion and we got some people around, you can go to a house that's playing just lo-fi, and it will show up in the background on the TV, and it will just be playing 24/7. And yes, that is a selfie stick while I'm taking a picture of myself. You can take pictures of your avatar in pretty much every application, which is really cool because you can save it and store it along with videos just as you're watching right now, and you can share them directly on Facebook. You can upload them in a browser to your Google Drive and save them for later. It's just a handful of things that you can do.
Always rocking colors, always rocking colors, always rocking colors, always
What it do,
rocking
y'all?
colors.
We on the line, we on the line, we on the line, we on the line, cause we on the line, we on the line. This money talk feel fine. I'm on the carousel of 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s. Every move I make has gotta be about the money.
Alright, so there's a few things about the Oculus that should interest a lot of you. I think it is a very, very amazing device. I know I didn't get into too many games, but just off the record, there's a couple of things in beta apps and stuff that I like. There's a game that allows you to, well, it's not even really a game, it's an application that allows you to utilize different drum sets and percussion instruments and just kind of like play all this air instruments, I should say. And I think I'm gonna put together like a song on different portions and put it all together. I think it's a pretty cool app. There was a poker VR that is not just poker, it's blackjack and roulette as well. But the amount of detail of things that you can do in this game is ridiculous. I mean, there's people lighting e-cigarettes, cigars, drinking beers, opening cans and throwing stuff, and it becomes a whole array of things that you can do with your friends, especially if you're a person who doesn't mind just jumping in with random folks. You can meet a lot of friends this way, have a lot of great conversations. Now, the Horizon venues would not allow me to share that because those are live events of things that are going on, whether it's concerts, whether it's NBA games, whether there's church services. There is a lot of stuff going on in Horizon venues that you can take your avatar and you can go and meet other people in these same environments, or you can just have a time to chill out with your friends. Now, I think for what it's worth, you can waste an insane amount of hours just kind of like chopping it up with your friends on little small things, and then there's an insane amount of hours you can get down and in depth with on their games, like Beat Saber and the shooting game that I had. I mean, I'm losing my mind right now, I can't think of it, but I have spent countless hours in those, and I have other free games in there. I got fishing games, I got boxing games, and there's a couple of sports games. Echo VR, for instance. Echo VR is something that is a 3-on-3 game where you're trying to throw a frisbee basically into the other team's goal. But it makes it interesting because it is all in space. You're weightlessness, so you have to maneuver with these little devices on your wrist to fly around, but you're totally weightless. So you'll like pass things, and you have to like stop on the wall and be able to like maneuver. So it sounds really simple to just fly through space and throw a frisbee to another goal, but it is definitely something that you have to learn. So yeah, between that and then all the other free activities and things that you're able to see and do, the Oculus, for what the price is worth it. Now, we'll see what this PSVR 2 has in store. I still think it's going to be connected to hardware. I still think it's going to be defined by the games and the developers that make games for them. Whereas if for an entire year games just stop being made for the Oculus, there are so many extra things that you can do with this Oculus when you're waking up, when you get off of work. I mean, especially in this whole time of COVID where folks can't get together and connect. There are clubs, there are social areas, there are VR chat, and it's a way of experiencing that social gathering with folks without leaving your environment. And it definitely puts you, as my wife would say, in a whole nother world. I let her try out a few things on it, and she was just amazed at the amount of detail everything had, and how you could pick stuff up and be very motionless with everything that you do. So anyway, when it comes to see me on Oculus, yeah, you can message me and I'll send you my Facebook tagged forward. I heard they're doing away with having to use your Facebook account to sign in, so I may be creating a separate one differently in a minute. But yeah, message me if you want. We can get connected. I play a lot of things like 11 VR table tennis. I play Caliber Reloaded. I play Beat Saber. I play Echo VR. So there's tons and tons of things that I do play. And then I like to get together during the basketball games and just, shoot the breeze with folks and watch the game. So connect up. Again, cannot beat it for the price of what it is. It is totally wireless. You can take it with you everywhere you go. There's a lot of things on the Oculus that do not require having an internet connection. So if you're at your hotel, or I've seen people on a plane, which is so crazy, on a VR plane app on the actual plane ride. But anyway, next up, I'll get at you about my 2021 setup and what I've been using for my camera equipment. I know 2019, 2020, I talked about another setup that I had, but I have been using a different type of gimbal that works great for any Sony Alpha cameras that you have out there. So I'll see y'all on the next one.
On the line.